the best, worst podcast you've ever heard. And now, The Ronnie and Bo Show, brought to you by Prescott Realty.
All right, Bo, so guess what?
What?
My wife listens to this podcast, which is nice.
Uh-huh.
But she listens to it at double speed.
What?
She listens to The Ronnie and Bo Show by pressing a button that fast forwards the rate at which we are speaking so she can get through it quicker.
Do we not get to the point quick enough?
I
or
don't think so. And I heard her doing this. So she's trying to be nice to listen, but she doesn't really have time to be bothered.
So she changes the pitch just slightly. She gains 10 or 15 seconds in a 20-minute.
Right. Apparently on her phone, there's a button to press that advances the speed of it playback faster. And so
I didn't know that.
So she does that. So the weird part is you sound like you're talking fast.
I do?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sort of that way anyways.
But because she is listening
and
to it on fast forward.
Normal?
I sound normal because it takes me so long to get out a sentence.
All right, well let's just play with her right now.
Okay.
So welcome to another edition of the Ronnie and Bo Show, and today the Ronnie and Bo Show. Hey, Ronnie, how are you doing?
I am doing fine.
So, Ronnie, today it's brought to you by Prescott Realty. Prescott Realty is just fantastic, folks. 928-851-4500. What's the subject today, Ronnie?
We are talking about things that don't really exist anymore, I think.
But first, we have a Ronnie and Bo poll. We're going to ask you a question, and we're going to ask you to stick around to the end of the show, and then we're going to give you the answer to the Ronnie and Bo poll.
That's fantastic, Bo.
Now,
that worked.
Do you think Anna will knock her out of that habit now?
Yeah, maybe. She wishes probably she could do that with me just in general. Fast forward, Ron, get to the point, speed it up. Come on.
All women want that from their husbands.
Probably. But we do really want to just thank you, Prescott Realty, for being our sponsor. You can visit them at PrescottRealty.com or, like Bo said, call today for a no-commitment free consultation.
928-851-4500. They've got two offices to serve, Prescott Realty, downtown Prescott, and Williamson Valley. Thank you, Prescott Realty, for sponsoring the Ronnie and Bo Show.
That is true.
So we've got a Ronnie and Bo poll for you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I don't think we've done one this week, so we need a Ronnie and Bo poll.
And this one has to do with Ronnie, and we're trying to coordinate our sound effects. Are you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
It is time for the Ronnie and Bo Show poll. There.
You got it.
That was the intro to the Ronnie and Bo Show poll.
This is a high-dollar
it's a sound
sort
effect
of
box
production.
That's being held in the air next to the microphone. Yes, high production. This question, which you'll get the answer to at the end of this episode, has to do with Ronnie. And the Ronnie and Bo poll question today is, Ronnie has owned how many cars? Ronnie has owned, meaning titled and registered, how many cars?
Wow.
Do you know the answer, Ronnie?
I do know the answer because I just did the math just in the last week or so thinking about this. But can we have some options? Can we narrow this down so they're not just picking a random number?
How many cars has Ronnie owned? Less than 11 cars? 11 cars? Or more than 11 cars? Your three answers, your three choices.
Okay.
How many cars has Ronnie owned, titled, and registered? And that's today's Ronnie and Bo poll. Woo! Right on the mark. On the mark. I love our sound effect guy.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I don't know if we actually have an official subject today.
I don't either. The title's kind of tough to come by. Things that have now. This is like that pyramid show where I'm trying to get you to guess things that have
start with an S.
Yeah, things that have gone the way of the dodo.
So things have gone the way. So what's the title of the triangle?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I don't know. We don't
because they have a catchy title.
Yeah,
and then they reveal it around. You're going to be. Talking about things that used to be that are no more.
Right. And so that's kind of it. Like there's so much stuff that
Ronnie and Bo are no morons.
No more runs. Yes. Yeah, these
things that are no more.
Right.
Describe this to your partner. You'll have 15 seconds
Things that are no more.
To describe this to your pop.
Outdated.
Sounds like
stuff.
Not, but.
Shush. Be quiet. I can't think.
Before?
Yeah.
After? Oh, we're not playing the game.
It's so stressful, like watching those, because I couldn't do it under pressure.
By the way, my wife and I, we don't watch it every time, but it comes on a summer season or whatever. It's a special. My wife and I will play. We'll be on the couch.
Right.
And we'll have the mute button on the remote, and he'll say, okay, describe these partners that begin with a letter S or whatever. And then we put it on mute.
Yeah.
My wife turns towards me away from the TV.
Right.
And I have to... We play along the TV.
Oh, that's fun. That's cool. Well, so there's a lot of stuff that maybe you and I grew up with, or even our parents told us about that we're aware of, but that our kids don't have any clue what these things are.
That's right.
And there's a huge number of things that were just secondhand, every day. We lived and breathed these things, and now nobody, if you're 20, you have no clue. If you're 10, you really have no clue about these sorts of things, you know?
Okay, I got it.
All right. So, I mean, what's some stuff that comes to mind?
But wait, let's give a little caution here, or whatever you want to say. That's not the right word.
Right.
Whatever we say,
right,
that's from our perspective.
Right.
So when we're saying, you remember when there was these and now there are those?
Yes.
Someone's going to be listening going, you don't even, there was something before what you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
so it's a never-ending list, right?
And our perspective, as you faithful listeners know, is always wrong.
I'll start with music.
Okay, music, yes.
Are you familiar with the 78? That was the size of the record. It was a 78.
Was that the little one or the big one? See, that's what I don't even...
It was sort of a dish size. It was a platter.
Okay.
So that was the 78, and I don't know the exact order, but you know of a 45.
Yes.
And I think it was the Revolutions, right? 70, 45, I think.
Okay.
And then, of course, there's albums. I don't know if the 78 and then the album and then the 45 or the 78, the 45, the albums.
Wow.
And then there were
8
tracks.
Right now, same. Like, what is... I actually have some albums, and albums are coming back.
Vinyl's coming back because of the oh gosh, you put me on the spot here. Because analog versus digital.
Yes.
And an example of that, you remember your answering machine message. Now maybe this is another subject that people don't, 10-year-olds don't know about.
Right.
But there was a time when you had an answering machine message and it had a little small cassette in it.
Right. Yes.
And you'd have to rewind it.
Oh yeah.
And, hi, this is Bill. Give me a call.
Right.
And then they went from the cassette tape, which was analog, to a chip, which was digital. And so you can see that you're saving all the tape material. It's digital, but it sounds really tinty.
Yes.
Hey, listen, man, I'm in a tuna fish can. So that's that's the attraction of vinyl. It was analog.
Yeah, I have so in college there was for me there's no cell phones yet.
Yep.
And we had an answering machine with the little tiny little cassette tape inside. And you know about this because I played it for you. It was one of those special moments in my life where Jay Leno called my dorm room and left a message.
Needed to get in touch with you about the work you were doing.
Yeah, and he left a message on our answering machine, and I've wanted to keep that. You know, I don't want to lose.
So you ripped that cassette right out and said, "I'm not going to let someone re-record over it."
Right, and so I still to this day have that cassette tape, but I had to buy. Also, which is unnecessary today, I bought one of those self-recorders where you would hold and
you're taking notes.
You would talk into.
If you're a private investigator, all right, I'm at the crime scene here and I'm recording my notes. Or if you're a ghostwriter, I'm writing my memoirs.
Right.
So you're talking into the little handheld.
Right. It's the only thing that will play back that size of cassette tape since they don't make answering machines anymore. They don't even make those anymore.
Man.
And so I got to get that in digital format somehow. But yeah, there were 8 tracks. Those were gone even before I came around.
When I was a
Cassette
kid,
tapes.
when I was into my music, I mean, when you're a teenager and your music is your world.
Yes.
One Christmas, I got a Sony Walkman.
Oh,
and you would attach it to your hip.
It's like
and it was
brick.
A cassette player. It was a brick, and it was the greatest thing ever.
That is the best. I love those. The cassette tapes were so good. Until, like, especially in your car, if you had a cassette tape player in there, and then every once in a while it would get jammed in, And I think we talked about before, I had a buddy that had some Lynyrd Skynyrd album jammed in his player. And then we had a Jeep later that the Top Gun soundtrack cassette tape was lodged in. And then it would get lodged, and then eventually it didn't like being lodged, and then it would start to shoot out wads of the tape.
The tape would it was spinning, but it wasn't going through.
Right, yeah.
And do you remember with cassettes
not good
that
times.
you when your tape came loose?
Yeah.
You had to get it back to the right side. It was wrinkled, and you had to get that pencil. Yeah. And you'll see that on Facebook, everybody. Like if you know what that is.
Yes.
A guy putting a pencil in the middle of the cassette to get that thing.
It up, and then it went to CDs.
And I'm sure there were some things right.
There's
what were those little what were those little cartridges that you would stick into like a video? Not the little audio ones. The little things.
Yeah,
there was that time, whatever that was. But there was other technology. But then CDs and downloads.
Now it's just downloads and all on your devices.
And
but even iPod is outdated already.
And you can put 20,000 songs on on your thumbnail.
Right.
And now it's like that's too inconvenient to carry around something the size of a matchbox.
And now that I'm thinking about it, like how many things our phone does.
Yes.
It covers all these bases now. I mean, it's my music, it's my Walkman, but it's also my phone, it's also my answering machine, it's also my camera.
So let me chime in there. Transistor radio.
Oh yeah.
Phone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bring your little portable camera, the ones that they would put on the tables at weddings, those little
disposable ones,
cameras, or one that you used to have where you take your thumb and you'd move the frame.
Right.
All right. Phone.
Yep.
Transistor radio. Phone.
Exactly.
Pay phone.
That's right. Yep. It's my computer too.
Yes, and a computer.
My wife and kids are just launching a new business. I'm not
Why
kidding.
didn't we think of the cell phone?
I know. We would be so well off right now. Computers are huge. Do you remember floppy disks?
Yeah.
Do you remember not floppy disks? Because there were the floppy ones that were maybe
flexible or 5 inches
or something.
And
they came out with the maybe 3-inch and they were hard.
Yeah.
And those were
floppy disk, hard disk.
Now,
but don't you love it when you walk into an office or someplace, or you know somebody who had a business,
right?
And you go into their garage, you dust off some books, and there's a binder, there's a 3-ring binder, and you open it up, and it's the floppy disk, which was the software for the computer.
Exactly.
It's the floppy disk, which is the instructions of the. And you go, why do you still have this in your garage?
I know.
It's my floppy disk file. And what are you going to do with it?
I like that they had a 3-ring binder, which hardly exists anymore either.
Well, it was like every reception, every receptionist, every office, no matter what industry, had that folder in the emergency drawer.
Yeah,
the backup drawer.
Man.
Even cars.
Oh yeah,
horse and buggy. I guess you could go back before horse and buggy. You could go to the Model T, right?
Yeah.
And then now look where cars have come, right? Obviously, that's an obvious one.
That's for sure.
How about video games?
Oh man,
I'm laughing because I already know the answer to that one.
My boys are saving up for the new system because we've had a Wii.
Wow. Now you remember how? I mean, the Wii was like. Went to Mars. You went to outer space.
Sure.
You have a Wii.
Yeah.
You must really be smart and technologically advanced. And now you say Wii, you go, I used to have those 19 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's goofy. The batteries are all out of them.
I was in 8th grade when the original Nintendo came out.
What was that?
Just the first
a handheld?
Nintendo system. No, it was it was like...
It was a computer game?
Like a book size, and you had to the games went in like a cartridge.
Oh, that's right.
And you had to breathe.
Oh, I have that.
You had to breathe on it hot, like to warm up whatever was, because it wouldn't adjust. I don't know what the breathing did, but
it was a toggle switch and a red button.
Yes,
if you wanted to move forward.
Yeah, it was kind of like that Atari thing. But I lost an entire summer to the original Nintendo.
I remember. The only place you could get a video game was Radio Shack. I mean, that they had the market.
Yep.
There was no GameStop in the mall. There was no industry. It was Radio Shack.
Exactly. Speaking of things that don't exist anymore, the entire chain doesn't exist.
But I remember you would go down and get Pong.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd go, oh, my gosh, I've got hours of entertainment. And it was tuna. Blip.
Yep.
Blip.
It's one
blip.
Little pixel bouncing between two lines.
Horrible. And now you've got war games and football and boxing and all this stuff on these Xboxes and these even Xbox 360s.
Did you have sea monkeys?
Yeah, or those weren't games, were they?
No, that was a toy.
Yeah, no,
right?
it was not a toy. It was an animal.
It was actually okay because I've heard of them. This is that in that bridge here of.
Yeah, that was sort of weird. That's
on the
way
out. But what was
I don't know if I
monkey?
remember, but I had sea monkeys, and it was you would get a plastic aquarium. You know, the kid would get a little plastic bowl, like a goldfish bowl.
Okay,
and then you'd open up these things, these metal pouches or whatever. You know, like the food comes in,
right?
And there'd be a bunch of dust and a bunch of things, and you'd stick them in there, and then they would grow. It's almost like
grow in a bowl of water. Then?
Yeah, and they would just come
they
to life.
move?
Yeah, I think so.
Ew.
But it's like the powder protein. It's something. It was a powder. It was a powder, and then it would be wet, and then it would come to life. I don't know how that worked. I couldn't figure that out.
Oh man!
But
that sounds like something terrorists use now. You know?
They it starts
ship
in this
you
form.
in the mail. It's some sort of
yeah. And then what were the things? You remember what was the? What were the things the crystal things? It would be a powder, and you put it in the water, and then you did these crystal castles.
I remember that.
Remember they would grow like stalagmites or whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore either. But I can't remember the name of those. Do koosh balls still exist?
I don't even know what a koosh ball is. Is that the one with the? Is it
like
rubber?
Stringy rubber hanging out. Yeah, and
I think the koosh ball became the stress ball, right?
Yeah. I think so.
And then what was the other one?
Fun things have gone away, and the stress has just increased.
What was the thing that you used to kick? The little
children?
Ball. No, not your the ball. The thing that the kids at the college campus, all the hippies use.
The hacky sack.
See, now look, there you go. See, there is a perfect example of a game show. Describe these things to your partners. What's that thing you kick?
Right.
Time's clicking off. Time's wearing down.
Right.
The thing you kick in a circle.
Right.
The hippie thing.
Well, okay, let's play that for just a second, because when you said it, my mind went to something else first before we got to hacky sack. But it led me to another thing that I don't know. I don't know if this exists anymore. I do know the name. It's a playground thing at elementary schools. A pole sticks out of the ground.
I know what this is.
String hangs out of the end of the pole, and there's a ball at the end of the string.
Yes. Are you being silly, or do you not know the name?
No, I know the name. But do you?
Yeah, it's tetherball.
Tetherball.
And yes, they still exist.
Do they still have it?
And the pole is there because it's in concrete, and there's no ball, and the string is just withered away at the top of the pole in the wind.
So that in another 5 years, that will go the way of the dodo, and we won't have any clue why. Mommy, what are those poles all over for? And
here's a subtopic.
Okay.
Soft drinks, canned drinks.
Oh man. See,
do you remember?
This is a bitter issue for me, because there's a handful that I really, really enjoyed that don't exist anymore.
Like what? Now wait a minute. You said, quote, that I really, really enjoy.
Yes.
3 reallys that don't exist anymore. So now I'm going to say, give me an example. And if you give me an example of one that doesn't exist anymore, you're on the hook for enjoying it.
Okay. All right. I really enjoyed Like soda.
You are a dork. You are a dork.
Tab. Do you remember Tab?
I like Tab. I didn't really, really like it, but it was at my grandmother's house.
Okay. All right. I think that one might still be around, but Like soda.
I think
you remember
Tab was more
Like?
original. I remember the name, but I don't until you said it. How about Fresca?
Fresca.
Do you remember Fresca?
I think Fresca. You might still be able to find that at certain places, but I haven't seen it in forever.
Well, and I think that's one of those marketing things, right?
Yeah.
I don't know which company.
Right.
Pepsi owns this company, these products. Coca-Cola owns it, and there may be a third company.
Yeah.
But it's like they're all fighting for the lemon lime sparkle drink.
Right.
I remember. I don't remember where we were, but a month or 2 ago, I said, "Do you have a whatever?" And I asked for whatever, and I said, "Do you have a 7-Up?"
Yeah.
And they said, What's the other one? What's the other one?
Sprite.
I said, "Do you have a 7-Up?" And they said, "We have Sprite." I said, "Well, then you didn't answer my. That's not 7-Up." Right. But they thought that those lemony sparkling, they're not the same.
Okay,
but
side note on that, I'm a huge Mountain Dew fan.
Yeah.
And I often go in, what would you like to drink? And I'll say, "Do you have Mountain Dew?" And they'll say, "No, but we have Dr. Pepper." It's not even close.
Well, they're probably referring it from the caffeine intake, or
I
from
guess,
yeah.
Or it's if you're not doing Coke or
but
Diet
it's a brown
Coke.
sugary drink versus a bubbly,
citrusy,
clear lime drink.
not a good trade-off. But that's I don't know. I can't think of any more. I did like soda, but TV-wise, do you remember Battle of the Network Stars?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that was like, at the time, it was washed up actors trying to get a last appearance or an after SAG check for their appearance.
Exactly. It's Eric Estrada, 10 years after
versus
Chips,
Heather Locklear
after Chips has ended,
TJ
and
Hooker.
now that he's doing circus routines with the kid
laps
from Who's the Boss?
Craig T. Nelson running the 440.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, and do you remember they did for a while? Somebody did. You remember the boxing where they had Danny Bonaducci of the Cartridge Family? And he did
exactly.
Squirch or Lurch? What was the guy from
Screech?
Screech. Yeah. And you remember they actually boxed. It was David Cassidy and Screech or something.
Yeah,
and it was real. And then it was Tanya Harding and somebody else.
Right.
You remember that? I don't remember
and then they did the claymation one.
Yes.
When they couldn't actually get the real people, then they would pit, Michael Jackson against Prince in a death
the claymation.
match. Those were good. Speaking of which, Marky Mark.
Yes.
And the Funky Bunch.
Yeah, that was a
big
popular
hip-hop group. But Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch no longer. They're gone.
That's right.
But Marky is actually Mark Wahlberg,
and he became an underwear model, and then he became an actor.
Yeah.
And I personally believe that was a hard transition for him because he was the white rap group from Boston or whatever. I mean, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch or whatever. That was back when you tried to have a bad reputation and you had to be legitimate.
Right.
And he did. He had a couple scrapes with the law and stuff, and now he's trying to become a mainstream actor, and he did it. I think that was a big challenge.
That was a good one. Yeah. MC Hammer.
Well, and I was going to say, MC Hammer got his start. He was he did warm-up shows, or he did, what do you call it, street shows at football games and baseball games in the Oakland area for money. He was in the parking lot. He would be next to the entrance, and he would be begging for money in a good way. I mean,
right.
And talking about street legitimate, you have to be a real street thug to be a rapper. You can't be a fake street thug. I just lost his name. I guess Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
Vanilla Ice had the biggest rap song probably in history.
Yeah,
definitely of his time.
Yeah.
And he was a middle-class kid from the suburbs in Dallas. His dad was a cable installer or something like that.
So wild. MC Hammer. I liked MC. Did you like his
pants? You Can't Touch This?
The
pants were great.
Too Legit
to Quit.
Yep.
I played his songs at Jammin' Z90 in San Diego when my boss changed my name to Kickin' Carlos Cabrera. That was my air name.
Oh man,
yep.
That's
another story.
I've just made a mental note. Kicking Carlos.
That's another story.
So that's fantastic.
Hey.
I did like MC Hammer's pants though.
Oh, I loved them,
which also do not exist. Actually, Bieber was trying to bring those back.
That's right, and it didn't work.
It didn't quite work.
And you know what? You know what's going to exist? You know what is going to exist from now until then?
What?
Our Ronnie and Bo hats and shirts. We'll have those in a closet. Maybe we'll each wear one when we're in our retirement homes in our beds, dying. I don't think we can sell them. Nobody wants them.
We will have plenty. They are on the Ronnie and Bo Facebook shop, which also won't exist. But the T-shirts and the hats will. They will live on.
No, you can actually go to our Ronnie and Bo Facebook page, and then we have a shop button, and you can buy, and it's real easy.
Yes.
You give us your address. It's one of these professional things. It's not It's not Ronnie and I peddling like at a lemonade stand. It's real. You put in, and they accept all major credit cards, and it ships to you.
That's right.
If you and I had to do it, we wouldn't be promoting it. But they sell them, and they're real.
And thanks so much just for all of you that are leaving some ratings and reviews when you listen. We know that that's kind of a pain sometimes, but it's just a real helpful thing for us. So thank you for doing that.
And I love to keep this little tease or this little thing going. Speaking of existing, didn't exist, will exist in the future. When you deal with Prescott Realty, the relationships you form with them will exist forever.
Right.
And they'll help you with your second home or all of your needs. PrescottRealty.com. Yep. You can call Prescott Realty at 928-851-4500. They're very good at what they do.
Yep.
And it's going to be very helpful if you contact Prescott Realty when you're looking to buy or sell your home.
That's right. You can call today for a no-commitment free consultation at 928-851-4500.
And now it's time to wrap up the Ronnie and Bo poll.
Yay!
The question today, how many cars has Ronnie owned, actually titled and registered? Less than 11, 11, or more than 11? The answer, please, Ronnie?
The answer is more than 11.
You have not owned more than 11 cars.
I have owned more than 30.
No, you haven't.
I have. I have a problem.
How many cars? You do.
I do.
How many cars have you?
I think it's 32.
And can you try to give us a quick list, or can you not remember them? You just remember them in your mind?
No, I mean, I had
you don't have to list all 32. Just
right. So I had
throw out a whole bunch.
My first car was a 1982 Toyota Celica.
Okay.
I had a Toyota Tacoma. I had another Toyota Tacoma. I had 2 other Toyota Celicas. I've had 2 Subaru WRXs, a Subaru Outback, an Acura Legend, a Toyota Land Cruiser, a Mazda Speed 3, Honda Odyssey minivan. Goodness gracious. I can't.
What are you driving now?
I'm driving a Subaru WRX. I've had a Honda Fit. I've had a Ford Mustang. I've had a Honda CR-V. We have had a Mercedes, 1970 Mercedes 220C. Gosh. So we've had a lot. I've had a Jeep Cherokee.
Wow.
We have a 1990 Subaru Legacy right now with our minivan.
By the way, you've been averaging about 2 or 3 cars per year that you've been able to drive.
Well, thank you so much, Kick and Carlos. We'll enjoy another episode later.
Thanks for listening to the Ronnie and Bo Show, available on your favorite podcast provider. Please connect with the Ronnie and Bo Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and RonnieandBoShow.com. Send comments to RonnieandBoShow@gmail.com. This is your announcer speaking. I'm Shotgun Tom Kelly.